Hello, I'm Kaylee Holtzgren, Content Director for Chief Marketer. I'm here on the show floor of CES 2025. We are super excited. We're talking to marketers today, and we have Jen Hartman with us, Global Director, Strategic Public Relations and Enterprise Social Media at John Deere. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you. It's great to meet you.
What are you getting out of the show as a marketer, and how do you make the most of it?
Yes.
In addition to everything that you're doing for John Deere.
Yeah. So we've had a pretty big presence since 2019. It was the first year we really launched a big space on the floor. And we found that there's a really huge, diverse audience of people that maybe not even have heard about John Deere. They certainly don't understand agriculture, construction, where their food comes from. So in part, we're able to reach a truly diverse audience that maybe doesn't know us as well. And then second, from a public relations perspective, this show packs so much power. We can do more interviews with tech, trade, business media in a few days than we can in a year. And so for us, it's just really effective and really impactful in terms of the reach we can get through our story.
That's really interesting. So in terms of the presence of John Deere this year, you said it's much bigger than it was last year?
Yeah. Well, it's grown every year.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're introducing 4 new autonomous vehicles, including an articulated dump truck, which is a huge quarry vehicle for construction.
My nephew would love that.
Yes. So we had a press conference to kick it off. And one of the ways we optimized that media presence this year is we held media briefings ahead of time. So we actually had a chance to do a demo in a field where reporters got to see firsthand those autonomous vehicles in action. So the stories would be deeper and richer than perhaps just seeing our equipment on a show floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a different kind of storytelling for your brand than it is to say like a laptop or an AI product.
One of my internal campaigns that people get sick of hearing me talk about is that we spend a little bit too much time marketing from a trade show floor when we have some of the most dynamic equipment in action you could possibly imagine. I would much rather see us demonstrating our equipment in a field than talking about a static piece of equipment on a trade show floor. So this year brought together the best of both those worlds.
That's excellent. So how about marketing campaigns and kind of positioning of the brand in general right now?
Yeah. So for us, we know that there's a huge opportunity with Gen Z, and you're probably hearing that from every brand.
Sure.
But for a brand like John Deere, a legacy brand that's nearly 200 years old, with an audience that is further and further removed from rural areas, they don't know our brand and they don't know our customers. So for us, we're really trying to lead with that customer first narrative, making sure that people more fully appreciate and understand that literally everything they experience in a day in some way came from a farmer, someone in construction, landscaping, the clothes we wear came from a cotton farmer. We want to make sure that we're making that deeper connection between audiences that don't understand our customer base and how Deere plays a role in helping those customers.
That's interesting. I know you lead enterprise social media as well, so I'm assuming that's part of communicating the story of the brand.
Yeah,
right?
So last year we announced a chief tractor officer who's the face of our TikTok, and the whole purpose behind that chief tractor officer was to introduce our customers and the people who grow the food, who grow the cotton, who build the roads, are introduced to that audience that maybe never fully realized where all of that came from and how important the work is that they all do.
Some of those sort of chief whatever officers can be gimmicky, but this was more of had some heart, right?
That was one of our goals. You know, you look at a lot of those chief positions, they were a couple of weeks, it was a PR play. Ours was really intended to be a storytelling opportunity. And in fact, we chose someone who didn't have an ag background. We wanted to be sure that the audience was experiencing what he was on camera as he learned about our industries in real time.
Yeah. What do you find as a marketer interesting to you at this show? I'm not sure, you probably don't have time for any panels, but I'm sure you have a lot of conversations. Any marketing trends or what has caught your interest?
You know, I have been really keenly tuned into simplicity and clarity. We're inundated so much now with so much content, and how are brands breaking through that with simplicity? You know, it used to be we had to be big, bold, disruptive, even absurd.
Yeah.
Now I feel like the more clear you can be and the simpler you can be, the better you're going to reach your audience
Mhm.
with the message you want them to. So I've been noting the folks in the booths that seem to tell their story very quickly for me and how they did that.
And you're also you're in PR as well as social,
Yes.
so you're kind of looking at the messaging that's happening, right?
Yes. Looking at, are the senior leaders very involved in the press conferences? Are they doing the interviews? Who are other brands showcasing in terms of, do they have influencers in their booth? We actually have a chief tractor kid now, Jackson Lowe. He's just Jackson on TikTok, very popular. So we brought some influencers, including iJustine, to our booth, knowing that in many ways we have to go beyond the John Deere brand handle and really look to have other people talk about us and share their story via their own channels.
That's interesting. So how about your takeaways so far? The show isn't over, but we had a full day yesterday. So what are you learning from it?
I am learning that this is an incredibly valuable opportunity for us as a brand, but also for our industry. This show, in addition to the PR value we get and the brand value we get, allows us to meet some of the greatest minds in the industry who might just be helping us with future technology that could really elevate our brand and our equipment even more.
Did you have the autonomous vehicles that you've launched?
Yeah.
Did you do any last year?
We introduced an autonomous vehicle a couple of years ago during our keynote. Last year, you could see a remote tractor and actually operate it virtually. This year, we just brought a number of other pieces of equipment that have now joined the autonomy journey with us.
So just a couple more questions for you. One is, do you have any marketing predictions for 2025? And if you don't want to predict anything, how about trends that you're keeping an eye on?
No, it's a great question. When Meta announced the AI personalities they were going to introduce to their channel, I know they're walking back on that now. We need to really get away from relying on organic social media to tell our story as a brand. I think we're going to be looking to content creators even more. I think marketers are going to have to get really innovative in how we reach our audiences without social. I think even paid media has become diluted, and with all the information we're consuming every day, how do we break through that in new and different ways? So we're going to be looking to what's next. Okay, organic brand social media is dying. What's next to reach those audiences in new and innovative ways? I don't have the answer yet, but
are you partnering with creators? So you mentioned that?
Yeah, so
that's going to be a big part of it.
Creators looking for brand partnerships that can help elevate our message with the right brand partner. So really looking outside of the brand itself with partners that can help tell the story for us.
That's great. My last question is, do you have any advice to marketers who are new to CES? I think you've come a few years, right?
Yeah. I would say make sure the team representing your brand knows the product, is engaged with the product, believes in it, is passionate about it, and is able to engage anyone who walks in your booth in a very genuine and authentic way. I think that's number one. And then I think number two is to just have fun. This is an opportunity to really kind of get away from that corporate environment or the business environment you're in and have some really dynamic conversations with people that may not know the technology or services your company's offering.
That's great advice. We'll end with that. Well, thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who's listening.